Hello and welcome to BPTV Live. We are coming to you from the Bold Penguin Lounge at InsurTech Connect 2021 in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, where we will be streaming live today and tomorrow. So check us out. We've got some great conversations ahead. Thanks for joining us. Are here with Erin Dyer, a strategic accounts manager at Cowbell Cyber. So welcome, Erin. Thanks so much for being our inaugural BPTV Live guest.
Thanks for having me. This is so exciting.
Yeah, so the vibe is very energetic here, again, on site at ITC, where everyone is mingling and networking in the Bold Penguin Lounge. So if you hear background noise, that is the sound of innovation happening live today. So let's jump right in.
Yeah.
Our first topic today is Hot Topics. We talk about industry trends and get our guest take. So today's hot topic is remote work. So remote work is touching every industry, of course, including insurance. And many traditional businesses that used to rely on face-to-face interactions had to rapidly ramp up digitization of their businesses. So what sort of growth curve do you see for digital transactions for agents, insurance agents, offering cyber insurance?
Yeah, so specifically to cyber, historically we've seen cyber applications that are 15 to 25 pages long. So thanks to everyone's willingness and remote working and engaging more online over the last 2 years, we see a desire to engage more in an online fashion. And that also encompasses cyber applications. So with that, and with offering an online application in cyber, we're able to offer a faster experience, it's more accurate, and it's more relevant. We're also able, with an online application experience, to remove some of the biases that you might typically have when an underwriter is reviewing a paper application. And at Cowbell, we've really doubled down on that approach with our online application. And in partnership with Bold Penguin too, right? We're delivering our agents and brokers a streamlined experience using data and AI on our side, which is also then handed back over to our underwriters, who can make more and better informed decisions on their side as well. So briefer application process, all online for our agents, and better underwriting and decision making for our underwriters, all thanks to this online model.
That's fantastic. I love that you touched on the three elements. So it's not just speed,
right,
but it's also accuracy and it's also relevancy. So I spent 10 years in underwriting myself, so I have a very intense appreciation for the combination of those things. It's not just about going faster, but the consumer, the small business on the other end, they need that accuracy to have the right policies. And that's so important.
Right. And think about, my handwriting's horrible, right? How many times have you written something incorrectly on paper? So when our brokers are engaging in an online model, we take a lot of those errors away. So everyone wins.
I love that. Great trend going forward.
Yeah.
Thanks, Erin. Awesome. Let's jump into industry chatter, where we share an industry quote from someone else in the industry to get your reaction.
Yeah.
So today's quote comes to us from John Farley, Managing Director, Cyber Practice Leader at Arthur J. Gallagher. And the quote is, "Your next cyber insurance renewal is going to be painful. Expect a lengthy list of questions about your data security controls, capacity constriction, rising rates, and coverage restrictions." Your reaction?
We hear you, John. Over the last couple of months, it's felt like we've been part therapist, right, to our brokers. But the reality is, the cyber market is in transition today. And we are seeing renewals with higher premiums, lower aggregate limits, and more restrictions in place. And we have our brokers coming to us, 6 months out from a renewal cycle, saying, what can I do in advance of this upcoming renewal to make sure it's as seamless as possible? Which is a long time out from a renewal to try to prepare. And for us, it really starts with the policyholder, and the policyholder taking proactive steps to prepare for that renewal application. And what we're looking for, and really all insurance providers are looking for on the cyber side, is a basic deployment of controls. And this is going to benefit the policyholder not only hopefully by preventing risk, but in the event that they do have a cyber incident, it's going to help mitigate the damages of that incident because they were better prepared. So for us, a few examples of what that looks like is multi-factor authentication deployment. And most services, most software services, offer that free of charge to small businesses. We're looking for businesses using backups, right? We want to see an incident response plan in place, which we actually have free of charge as a plug. We can provide that to our policyholders if they need one. So we're talking about very basic steps that policyholders can take now in preparation for their renewal that will hopefully give their brokers a break too, right, and make it seamless for everybody.
Well, and we often at Bold Penguin talk about the importance of the agent and the broker and being that trusted advisor. And that is such a great opportunity for agents and brokers to be that role, to help the small business be proactive and make sure they're informed and taking the right necessary steps, because we often see these big data breaches with large companies in the news, but that's because they're large. It doesn't mean it's not happening every day to small businesces who often don't have the means to recover as smoothly as a larger organization. So I think that's a fantastic way to frame it, of using that touch point with the agent and the small business, and then having those tactical elements of advice for the small business.
Exactly. Yeah, we want it to be a closed loop approach, right? We're going to help them prepare for their upcoming cycle, of course, but also help them become more resilient to the cyber industry we're in today.
Fantastic. And that actually transitions very well to our questions from the crowd, our last segment of the day, where we take questions from our BPTV audience.
Okay.
So today's question is cyber insurance a hardening market? What are we doing in the industry to keep up with factors like risk accumulation and demand?
Yeah, that's a great question. So today, thanks to events like the Colonial Pipeline and software hacks, where we're seeing tens of thousands of businesses, at risk due to a breach, yes, there is of course now concerns about risk aggregation. To take it a step back, historically, cyber insurance carriers have rated their risk based on basic factors such as revenue and industry. So this approach leaves them completely disconnected from their portfolio and the cyber risk their portfolio holds. So here at Cowbell, we've been able to use our digital underwriting platform and monitor our risk throughout the life cycle, right? It's not just revenue and industry code on a piece of paper. So we're doing that by collecting over 750 data points on each policyholder and benchmarking each policyholder against the 14 million plus businesses we have on our platform today that we're running the same scan on. So we benchmark the policyholder against the pool, and we're able to make insights and really avoid the aggregation of risk, right? Prior to being in the scenario where you look at your book 3 years from now and you have a lot of aggregation risk. And we think that this is really important for us as an insurer, but also for our brokers and our reinsurance partners to be able to provide that aggregation data and monitor the book on a continuous basis.
I mean, data is such incredible power when you think about having 750 data points versus a few data points that are trying to represent those data points essentially below it.
Exactly.
As a placeholder.
Yeah. It's, think about what could be on a piece of paper versus a scan that could be run in real time every day on a business, exposing those risk elements.
Yeah, that emphasis on being proactive too, I think, is something I see often discussed more in cyber, I would say, than in a lot of other lines. Not that it's not discussed in other lines, but certainly with cyber, it's very top of mind of how do you prevent it. So using that data, leveraging that data, it just makes perfect sense so that the agent and the small broker and all the small businesses can really prevent and mitigate those losses.
Yep, exactly.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat today on our first ever BPTV Live here in the Bold Penguin Lounge at InsurTech Connect 2021. And look for more interviews, more conversations live here on Bold Penguin's LinkedIn. Thanks again, Erin.
Thanks, Amber.